Welcome to Being at Home with George during the time of COVID. I'm very excited to be here today and to start off, as we normally start off, with creating this vision of possibility to be able to embrace whatever comes up, the ability to say yes to life, and at the same time, generating the hope and having the courage to do both. So today I want to talk about hope. And I also want to talk about hope in the sense of having the courage to generate hope and at the same time saying yes to life. And so this idea of courage, what does courage mean? Courage means to have the mental and moral strength to venture, to persevere, and to withstand danger, fear, or difficulty. In a word, having heart or following the path with heart and being wholehearted. This idea of wholeheartedness, meaning it ties into this idea of healing and health being wholeness. There's no separation between the mind, the body, the heart, and the spirit or the soul. And so we want to be fully deployed, doing the work or performing a work that's all of a piece, not just halfway, but full deployment. Why is it important to have courage? Because that is the beginning of everything. Until we get the courage, we're not able to take personal responsibility for our words, our actions, our deeds. And we need to be able to do that by saying, okay, I am responsible and I make choices. And my job is to create the possibility of responding to life and not reacting, so that I'm creating space between stimulus and response and making a choice. And to have the faith, because the courage, the amount of courage I have is going to be determined by the amount of faith that I am able to connect with and act from. So to act as if I have courage, to act as if it's possible for me to be myself and express myself, then it's acting into it. It's behaving my way into proper thinking, you might say. And so to me, this idea of courage is huge. It's at the heart of everything. And to follow a path with heart leads to heartfelt emotions like joy, compassion, satisfaction. Courage makes all of the other virtues possible. And courage is the first step in assuming personal responsibility and getting away from the DMB, what I call the denial and blame. So just saying, I am responsible, period. And then understanding what that means. So how do we do that? So this idea of courage, having the courage to choose authenticity over approval and to choose it again and again. The courage to accept the responsibility for your own choices or our own choices. And indeed, the courage to be the very unique person we really are, or you really are, or each one of us really is, I would say. And so this idea of understanding that and what does it mean to be courageous and to take courage, it means to act as if. So for me, it's to be having the courage to say yes to life. It allows me to get in touch with who I really am. This idea of accepting responsibility for my own choice or choices and the courage to be the very unique person I really am. And so when I think about courage and this idea of being real, having autonomy, having this ability to say yes to who we are and allowing who we are to come out of the suffering, to come out of the saying yes to life and generating the hope and continuing to do things that are definitely dangerous, as I talked about, having this idea of danger, fear, or difficulty. So it's difficult, by having the courage to say yes to the difficulty, to the challenges. And in fact, just my own experience of having the courage to say yes to life, having the courage to embrace whatever comes up, and just seeing it, working with people or having a challenge like a migraine headache and saying to myself, okay, the migraine is telling me something. In my case, my migraines usually tell me that I'm trying too much or I have too much on my plate and I need to step back and I need to be still and know, just reflect on, okay, I need to just recover. I need to just have a pause and recollect and to make sure that I'm taking care of myself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so it's just having this quiet time to just think and to reconnect with who I am, to really accept what I'm feeling, and then being able to do something about it and to choose my thoughts wisely. So instead of thinking about what's not happening or what I don't want to have happen, I can choose to think about what I want and how I'm going to achieve my goal. And the idea is, how can I have this ease, this peace, this joy of discovery? And this is what I think is really important. When I see this experience of having migraine headaches or chronic pain, which I've been dealing with for almost 40 years, when I see it as an opportunity for me to express myself, when I see meaning in it, it ceases to be suffering and opportunity for my latent abilities to express themselves by looking at it as an adventure. And there's a lesson here. And if I learn that lesson, this roadblock becomes a stepping stone. And so everything starts with courage, the courage to be, the courage to be creative, the courage to understand that most of the time I have no idea what's happening. I can just be still and know, and in a moment, embrace the what we call the VUCA, the things that are volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous from moment to moment. To say yes to it, and what's the lesson, or what do I need to see so that I can express my uniqueness, my very unique personality, or my very unique masterpiece, I'll call it. So we are wired for success. We have a masterpiece. And courage is a good way to access it, to say yes to life, and then allow our masterpiece to express itself in the difficulty, in the challenge. I like to use this phrase, no struggle, no swag. So when I can struggle and have the courage to struggle through and get to the other side, that's where the swag and that's where the joy of discovery, that's where the feeling of being myself and being able to express myself comes from. So I'll keep it short and simple, but this idea of, even if we think about this idea of a winner, it takes courage to be a real winner, not a winner in the sense of beating out someone else by always insisting on coming out on top, but a winner at responding to life. It takes courage to experience the freedom that comes with autonomy, courage to accept intimacy and directly encounter other persons, courage to take a stand no matter what, whether it's popular or an unpopular cause. The courage to be real, the courage to say, yes, know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, and to thine own self be true. And that can only happen with courage to say yes to life and no to reacting or being inauthentic or being unreal. The idea is to be real and to feel you're ready to be real.